And welcome to another random episode right here on Stay and Play. And I know it's been a while since I did a gaming related video like this. I mean, I dropped some small skit. I don't know if you've seen it, but if you haven't, here's the link for that. But today I will be reacting on more PS5 Pro news. Now that it's officially out in the air, it's in the universe, and the developers have it in their hands, and they're making games and updating their previous games for this new upgrade. Some developers are slowly releasing the video footage to show the difference between what it was on the PS5 versus what it looks like on the PS5 Pro. And going through my feed, I saw that Remedy released footage of basically the upgrades that Alan Wake 2 will have if you play it on the PS5 Pro. And from what I saw, I just saw a few pictures here and there, it looked amazing. So I was like, okay, you know what, let's explore this further. Let's look into this together. So I thought I would make a reaction video reacting to these visual upgrades that we'll see. And lo and behold, IGN dropped a video comparison trailer. So thank you, IGN, for that. And yeah, let's jump in and let's see what it looks like running on the PS5 Pro. But before we jump in, ladies and gentlemen, don't forget to hit that like, hit that subscribe, and ring the notification bell for all my latest videos. Also, if you'd like to share your thoughts on the PS5 Pro or even this comparison trailer, please leave your comments down in the comment section below. All right, let's jump into it. All right, quality mode comparisons. All right, I like that they show a work in progress because, well, I mean, I like it because it means it could get better, but it also means it could get worse. So let's have a look. So these are the ray traced reflections, and let's have a look at what we see reflected here on the surface of this lake, or I don't know what this is, this body of water over here. So perfect. So we can see right here we have the deers, the blow up deers here being reflected in the water, as well as the little platform they're on, including the hay over there. We can also see some of the words are reflected in the water. And then all the way on this side we have the van being reflected, these little blue stands, as well as the yellow covering on top being reflected. And I mean, it's not the clearest reflection because obviously there's some turbulence in the water. As you can see, it's like undulating waves over here, but definitely enhances it, definitely enhances the scene. I'm sure they're going to give us what it looks like without ray trace reflections. So let's have a look. All right. Okay. So what have they removed here? So here you can see obviously the blow up deers have gone. They're not there anymore. Also, I'm not sure if you see that. Do you see that these little squares? I don't know if that's checkerboarding, that whole upscaling technique, checkerboard rendering. But yeah, we can see some little breakup in visual quality here. And I'm not sure now if this is screen space reflections. I mean, I would know if they tilted the camera back and forth. But as you can see here, the reflection quality is much lower compared to this, right? You can see here a lot more detail. And I didn't even notice, but I think you can make out the people somewhat just lightly in the water. I see a bit of something there. Maybe it's a far-fetched or far-reach, but yeah, a big difference, eh? Big difference. Even in just the normal rendering quality of the water. Yeah, it doesn't have these weird artifacts that we can see over there. In the famous words of Digital Foundry, these artifacts, imagine I am Richard right now. It's like, yeah, these artifacts. All right, let's move on. Yeah, no, definitely visual improvement in the water and the ray trace reflections. All right, so So it's now like a bit closer to nighttime, so there's not a lot of like light sheening.
What did he say?
Light sheening, light sheening, but we can still see some good ray traced reflections, the reflection of the light pole over there or the telephone pole. What else do we see? We see some reflection of the tree, this tree over here. It's darker on this side. We can see a bit of that. Let's run it and keep watching. Ah, okay. The main thing that jumped out to me was the reflections on the windows of the car that's under the water. So if we go back, look at that. All right, but if we run it, then all of a sudden it gets this like, look at that. Now, this doesn't look correct. Something looks weird here, right? We can see that if this is supposed to be reflections of the water in the windscreen and all that on the windows of the car, it does not look correct, right? These are they don't even look in line with the water. I know refraction can do that or whatever the case may be, but yeah, this just looks off. And you can even see the lighting of the water is completely different. It's like it's much brighter than the surrounding water. So it's like it's popping out at you, and you can be like, that already, you know, makes it feel weird when you look at it. But yeah, other than that, I'm not really impressed with this shot that they showed. Maybe it's because of the darkness and the lighting. You can't really see, but oof. When they switch back, you can see the reflections, especially on this pole here. It's much more prominent and looks better. And again, the water quality looks much better in the PS5 Pro version. All right, so let's have a look at this scene here. Ray traced reflections. So what reflections would this be? This would be this reflection here on the left side of the character. Still looks a bit the resolution quality looks a bit low, but it's there, and you can see it's moving with him, as opposed not to being there at all. All right, so you can see there. So we have even like, what would this be? Shadows? Some of the stuff, this stuff that look like is being reflected as shadows. But yeah, it adds an extra depth, or you know, more detail to the scene. All right. Actually, I think I even missed something at the bottom here on the ground. Let me just wait for this play bar to disappear. Oh, it won't. I don't know. But yeah, here we can see right here at the bottom, we have some reflections on the tiles, right? If just want to go to a... Okay, so you can see here it looks much more prominent here. It's actually... It doesn't even have like, you know, it doesn't look like the reflection is being affected by anything at all. It just looks like a direct reflection. Now this would probably be screen space reflections here, because you can see it's like, it's super clear, right? When it shouldn't be. At least I don't think in real life reflections really work like that on opaque surfaces or dusty. So here you can see now it's less clear, which I think makes more sense. Especially with the lighting in the environment, whereas opposed to the version without it, it's like the reflection has its own source of lighting there that doesn't really match the environment. All right, let's continue. Impress me, Remedy, impress me. Oh, by the way, Control was fire. Well, I've also heard Alan Wake 2 was good. This is the one right here. I think this was the image I saw. So this was the fact that you're looking at a glass and you can look through the glass, right? You can see the stuff inside the store, like the seats over here for this. I think this is like some type of diner, right? And you can also see the reflection on the outside. So like the people on the outside, is that a llama? I don't know what that is with the American flag thing there. So this is, I like this. I think where I saw this as well was in Spider-Man, specifically Spider-Man Miles Morales when it first came out on the PS5. There's that scene where you speak to that guy in the bodega or in that store, and you're walking in, and then you see the door has like a window, and it's reflecting, but it's reflecting everything on the outside while also being translucent to show you the things on the inside. So this is beautiful already. I love stuff like this. Like it's almost like a reflection in reflections and so on. Right? How many times does the light bounce and all that? And look at that. Look at that. You can only see on the inside. So this is beautiful. I like this. It's very impactful. It really changes what you're looking at. All right, performance mode. 60 FPS performance mode with increased visual fidelity. All right, so you can already see it's smooth. It's definitely 60 FPS. I love that effect there. That like visual aberration that they put. I mean, it came in Control, but yeah, I see it's also in Alan Wake 2, and that's it. All right, so quite a short trailer. They did release another one as well, so let's have a look at the ballroom comparison trailer. So this is just the performance mode. Immediately the camera movement, you can tell that it's like smooth. So it's definitely targeting 60 FPS here. I don't see any lost frames, any jittering, even with all these effects. And that's it. another short trailer. All right, so I mean the trailers highlighted it all, right? Specifically for the reflections, the ray trace reflections. Now and I'm pretty sure there are other things, even though they just said ray trace reflections, I'm pretty sure there are other things that were improved. Like when we're looking at the water quality looked much higher on the PS5 Pro compared to the normal one. And yeah, so they didn't mention that. So I'm pretty sure there are things that they highlighted or things that they didn't highlight that are there. And what I did was go through some articles, Eurogamer, Inside Gaming, to see exactly if because they have some topics or some articles on this, to see exactly if there are any other differences that we didn't notice. So let's see what Victoria Kennedy had to report regarding the enhancements on the PS5 Pro. So blah blah blah. Sony revealed the number of games that will receive the enhanced label. Blah 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 blah. Okay, so here we go. Quality mode will see 30 frames per second with ray tracing, which isn't available on the PS5 model. So the normal model had 30 frames but no ray tracing, and the output resolution of 4K. This will enable ray trace reflections on opaque and transparent surfaces, which is what we saw, right? Specifically with that scene with Alan in that room with the low lighting where you could see the reflections on the tiles. You could see that that was like opaque reflection, right? While performance mode meanwhile won't have ray tracing but will boast 60 frames per second and output a resolution of 4K. It will approximately use the same render or image quality settings as the base PS5 quality mode. All right, so what more do they have to say? The performance mode on the PS5 Pro features significantly higher output resolution and has more visual detail compared to the base PS5. Remedy explained. The overall image stability, fog, volumetric lighting, and shadow accuracy have been improved too. So on the performance mode, these things have all been improved too, which is good, right? It gives the game or the scene more atmosphere and more detail. Let's see. Remedy said due to Alan Wake 2 being so incredibly detailed and rich, visually it was a tough fit for ray tracing, especially compared to our previous game, Control. But the studio wanted to rise to the challenge and upgraded the hardware. The upgraded hardware the PS5 Pro provides made all the difference. With ray traced effects, the detail of the world in Alan Wake 2 can be observed even more accurately than before on the console, and the image is more stable in complex lighting situations, the team wrote. We've always wanted to bring cutting-edge visuals to our games, but everything is always a balancing act between the frame rate, the visual quality, and technical and hardware constraints. Development resources and what we wish to artistically achieve. And this is what Mark Cerny mentioned in the presentation, right? The thing of bringing the frame rate and visual quality, right? Before it was a balancing act, but now it's not so much of a balancing act, rather than I guess what the developer wants to do, right? Because now they can push quality level graphics in performance mode at 60 FPS, or they can take quality level and improve whatever is there already, which is what they're doing here, right? So the studio noted much of Alan Wake 2 setting benefits from ray tracing, but it comes with a cost. Said Remedy, each ray must be traced and its hit evaluated and shaded. Due to the nature of ray tracing, multiple rays must be traced to reach noise-free images. Unfortunately, tracing and shading multiple rays per pixel is still generally too expensive. We must be able to work with noisy images provided by low sample counts, which means we must remove the noise by denoising. When trying to achieve real-time performance, game engines like our very own Northlight usually resort to using small sample counts and denoising. It makes sense. It makes sense, right? Because if there's a lot of multiple rays being traced, and every ray that's being traced bounces off something and reflects off something and gets more information, that's more processing power that's required, right? And then this is why hopefully PSSR, as it develops and gets better, will make these things look even more better in the future, right? Think about DLSS when it first started and how over the years it's become better and better, right? So in a game like Alan Wake 2, its complex light material interactions and rich environments can make tracing, shading, and denoising even a single ray tracing effect too expensive to justify the cost depending on the hardware, right? So at least the PS5 Pro gives them that option where yes, it's expensive, but we have more leeway. We have more power to achieve these things. Remedy described Alan Wake 2 as a geometrically very dense game. A lot of polygons everywhere, right? The usage of a GPU-driven rendering pipeline and its fine-grained culling with the skinning ran on GPU made it possible to create densely populated forest scenes with layers and layers of foliage and trees encountered during Saga's gameplay segments, taking place in lush environments of the Pacific Northwest, it continued. All right. While main camera view shading can effectively cull most of the unnecessary work, right, which is true, right? What the camera is looking at is what is processed. So everything behind the camera or to the side is not worried or is not processed, right? So while main camera view shading can effectively cull most of the unnecessary work, uncompromised ray tracing must build an acceleration structure using a large portion of the scene's object, since ray tracing reaches beyond the limits of screen space information. Exactly. So if a ray is being shot from outside the camera view, that still needs to be processed outside as it gets in camera view and bounces out again. Right, well, depending on how many bounces they program and so on, right? So this is why ray tracing is not like screen space, because screen space is if it's in camera view, whereas ray tracing, we need that to happen regardless of if it's in camera view or not, right? The Pro's improved hardware made it possible to build the acceleration structure for most densely populated scenes, which was the major limitation before. All right. So having that 30-something teraflops, PSSR, and all these things helps a lot. So in addition, no, that's other information. Okay, so I'm not going to look at Insider Gaming because I think most of this was said already. Well, I guess they have a bit more information in terms of resolution numbers, but I think we get the point. The more horsepower in the PSSR is allowing them to both increase the fidelity and the visual quality, right? The resolution in that sense of the game itself. All right, and that seems to be seems to be like the upgrades they're adding. Again, work in progress, right? Like they say, there's a lot of other things they've updated, volumetrics, shadows, and so on. But I am enjoying, I'm definitely enjoying what I'm seeing here. The ray tracing is definitely going to make this look so much better. And yeah, I can't wait to play it on the PS5 Pro. Let's see how it goes. Let's see how it goes. All right, ladies and gentlemen, please let me know what your thoughts are in the comment section below. Tell me, what do you think? Does ray tracing make that big of a difference to you? Or is it just you don't mind playing it normal without ray tracing? And I mean, even if that's the case, if you're playing it the normal way without the ray tracing, do you think that Remedy could add like a 90 frames to 120 frames per second mode if they don't focus on the ray tracing and they just focus on like what the base console gives and just like improving on that with the extra power, right? Who knows, right? Who knows? Let's see what they do with this new product here, with this new console, and I'm definitely looking forward to it. And if you like what I'm dishing, ladies and gentlemen, please don't forget to hit that like, hit that subscribe, and ring the notification bell for all my latest videos. I definitely appreciate everyone that likes and subscribes, and it helps this channel grow. So thank you so much for everyone who's already supported, and looking forward to all the extra support from the new viewers, the new subscribers. So thank you so much. And with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, I'm out.